First, if you could please give a big welcome to Pádraig Duffy, who is the Director General of the GAA.
Thank you very much, Chair, and you're all very welcome to Croke Park this morning. We're so pleased again to host the National Concussion Symposium. Thanks very much again to Bon Secours Health System and of course to the University of Pittsburgh Medical Centre. It's a privilege for us to be part of this project. For us as an organisation, I think we've been at the forefront really of raising awareness on concussion and education on player welfare generally over the past number of years, and so it's really important for us to be associated with an event that brings some of the world's leading experts on concussion diagnosis and treatment. And those of you who were here last year will know how valuable that symposium was, and I'm sure today will be exactly the same. For us as an organisation, we're currently updating our protocols on concussion, and we're very grateful for the help we've got from Dr. Michael Collins and Dr. Anthony Contas on that. For us, this is a big issue. I have no concerns about how we handle concussion issues at national level in the big games and so on, but we play thousands of games throughout the organisation in the course of a year, and at many of those games there are no medical personnel present. And so it's hugely important that we raise awareness among all our members of just what concussion is. And we constantly need to remind them that concussion is a brain injury. If one of our players was in a car accident and we were told that he'd suffered a brain injury, we'd be extremely concerned. But somehow there's a temptation to talk about concussion as a heavy bang to the head. It's a brain injury, and we need to constantly repeat that message and constantly to encourage our players, our mentors in charge of teams at every level of the association, that you cannot mess around with any kind of a head knock, that you err on the side of caution all the time. The player is not allowed to return. And we have to repeat that message over and over and over again. And conferences like today are important in that regard. The message will gradually seep down to every level of the GAA, and that's extremely important for us. I just want to say a word of thanks to the people who have made today possible, especially to you, first of all, the team doctors and physios who work for us on an ongoing basis throughout the year and who do so much to raise awareness, and I know you'll continue to do that, and to thank you for your work, not just in the area of concussion, but on ensuring that we have high standards of player welfare throughout the GAA. I want to thank especially our visitors from America today, Michael Collins, Dr. Michael Collins, or Mickey Collins as he's known as, Dr. Anthony Contas, and Dr. Anne Mucha. They were here last year and the response was fantastic, and we're so grateful that just a year later they're prepared to come back again and share their knowledge, expertise with us. It's a real privilege to have them here. I want to thank Chuck and Bill for their contribution on behalf of their organisations. Without them, this could not take place. And I also want to say a word of thanks to David Neville, the Director of the Investment Event Organisers. And I want to thank on behalf of the GR Ryan, the Chairman of the Medical, Scientific and Welfare Committee, who's done a wonderful job over the past years in terms of raising awareness of the need for good player welfare programmes. And also to thank Garouj Devitt, our Player Welfare Officer, who does a great job on an ongoing basis, week by week, in raising awareness and making sure that our welfare standards are as they should be. So look, I hope that you all have a really enjoyable day. Thank you so much for coming. By being present today, contributing to the development of sport and player welfare policies in sport in Ireland. We're very happy to be part of that. Thank you all very much.
This event is obviously a huge partnership. We'll hear from the American side of the partnership in a moment, but our next speaker is Bill Maher, who's the CEO of Bon Secours Health System.
Morning, everyone. Great to see so many people up bright and early on a Saturday morning. Bon Secours is delighted to be involved again in this second national symposium, Make the Call. It's great to partner with the GAA and UPMC, and thank you, Pádraig, for the warm welcome. I don't get too many chances to be here in Croke Park coming from Carlow, so it's great that we're back here again, and it's great to continue the partnership that we started to build on the practices, the promotion, the protocols and treatment of concussion. And Pádraig said it better than I could. It's a really, really important issue for the GAA, for UPMC and for ourselves in Bon Secours. I'm delighted to have two of our leading neurologists here today, Peter and Niamh, and for them to share their experience with you. Niamh has really been the flagship in the Bon Secours, and the development she's made in her paediatric concussion treatment has been really, really good, and she's been with this from the start, and I thank her for her ongoing interest here as well. Both Peter and Niamh would tell you, though, that this is a team sport. And I'm delighted that Aoife McMahon is here as well today. Aoife won't thank me for telling you that this isn't the most important thing she's doing today. She has to go and ice a cake for a wedding straight after this. So if anyone would give her any help, she'd be most appreciative. But physiotherapy is a big part of concussion. It's a big part of the services that we have in the Bon Secours as well. We have interests in developing services in sports medicine, in men's health and in women's health. And concussion is part of the growing development there as well. I too would like to welcome our friends from the States. We had a great time with Mickey and Anne and Anthony last year, and it's great to see them come back with even more enthusiasm than before to continue to promote their work here. And there's lots more to come in terms of concussion, and we see this as something we're going to build on, something that one day we'll all be famous for. And I think that's really good, because it's not been taken seriously enough yet. I applaud the GAA and their leadership in this regard, and I particularly applaud UPMC and their world expertise in this and our ongoing partnership with them. That partnership is developing strongly now and at a pace. We have very common values. Our motto of advanced medicine and exceptional care, and UPMC's motto of life-changing medicine, I think there's a very, very good fit. On the 23rd of October, we're inviting Minister Jim Daly to Cork, to turn the sod at our 77 million capital investment there, part of which is a radiotherapy centre. And we wouldn't be able to do that without the help and support of UPMC, another area they have a particular expertise in. All of that is part of our ambitious 2020 plan. So I'm really grateful for the work we've done, and more importantly, the work we're about to do. I'm delighted to be here again today, and I hope we all have a great symposium. Thank you.
Our next speaker is Chuck Bagosta. He's the president of UPMC International.
Thank you, Jared. Thank you, Patrick, and thank you, Bill. So it's great to be back here again this year. Last year was there was a lively conversation that occurred, and I suspect that it's going to be similar today. And what I really wanted to do is, number one, welcome everybody. Thank the GAA and Bon Secours for their leadership in this area. But I mostly wanted to really congratulate you as we were thinking about this year's conference. And I actually just was thinking about this on the flight over on Thursday. How is this actually possible that this is happening? And frankly, the awareness around concussion is more of a topic of conversation in Ireland than it is in any other country that we've been in. I've personally been in 15 countries over the last 12 months, and UPMC as an organization has had conversations with at least 50 countries over the last 12 months, and we know no other country in the world that actually is as aware and is taking on this challenge of addressing concussion management. And I was trying to figure out, why is that? And I was thinking about the years that I've been coming here, and in the 12 years that I've been spending time in Ireland, two significant events that I would make an analogy to were the fact that Ireland was the first to ban smoking in pubs. That was a courageous event. No one else in the world had done it at that time. And then the latest with paper and plastic and the whole controversy around this. Concussion is, I think, has more of an impact, has much more of a potential for changing things in terms of how athletics are looked at and how sporting is looked at and how just the whole management of concussions are looked at. So comparing it to paper and plastic and comparing it to smoking is probably not fair. But what it does, in my mind, is it conjures up the image of just the fact that you have been courageous and the fact that you are taking this on. And I do believe you will leapfrog the world by taking this important challenge on. And so I again, mostly want to congratulate, thank you, and welcome you to this event. And we look forward to really advancing this in Ireland with you. Thank you.